just touch on what we were talking about? 5 milliliters of lidocaine, 10 cc syringe, but it's inconsistent with Dr. Murray's statement to the police. Would you just describe this as just plain ludicrous?
Again, we've talked earlier about the difficulty in drawing up even 5 cc's. To have a patient who's somewhat sedated under the effects of drugs, drawing up at one time, it may be conceivable. Drawing it up 6 times over that period of time, 2 hours, is inconceivable, yes. He would be knocking himself out, waking up, figuring out how to draw it up again, and then whacking in another 10 cc dose, and he'd probably be asleep before he got all 10 cc's in. So in my world, this is not a very realistic possibility.
Stretched out over a 10-minute period of time, isn't it?
Correct.
On the other hand, if you had to condense it to fit it.
Because you're rapidly administering a bolus dose of propofol on top of a very high concentration of a benzodiazepine, lorazepam, and also additionally a small amount of midazolam. So you've got drugs that have additive or even synergistic effects. And I think the combination effect would be very profound.
Sight line of the jurors.
If we could have, I wanted to illustrate the way Dr. Murray would have given.
Okay, that's all right. Let's just testify and ask questions, please.
Okay, the 5 cc's has now been injected. Okay, and again, what I would like to demonstrate is this color. Can you see that?
Well, if you ask me, I'll ask the jurors.
What's previously been marked as defendant's triple I.
Actually, when I read one of the expert reports suggesting that a bag was used, it was my impression that they were spiking the bottle through the bottom of the IV bag, and then they could adjust the height, but that doesn't work when I tried to repeat that simulation. So, no, I can't conceive of a reason that anyone would go to that hassle to contrive a delivery system that really won't work.
Well, it's obvious that the lift has not been deployed, isn't it?
Correct.
And it's been stipulated that. So, in forming your opinion on infusion, when you see that there's no propofol in any delivery device other than the distal end of the IV line, there's no deployment of the strap used to hang the propofol bottle, does that cause you to think that there's no evidence of an infusion?
Exactly.
So it's the best, you want the propofol bottle deployed as high as possible on the IV stand?
Yeah, you need